This type of Yom Yerushalmi in the article Oz V'Hara edition. We are on Shabbos Daf Mem V'Amar Aleph Am Rabbi Avo, which is the sixth line down, which in the Vilna is on the second last line in Lamed Zayin Amar Aleph. So Am Rabbi Avo Koshu Tosha Basei, or anything which sits in the hair is called Peah. So two different shots mean carbonata. Carbonata says Klamar Sharbeisro Zul Gabezu. You have lots of hair, a big volume of hair. Still called peah. Avagav she'ena cuts rosh, even though it's not the edge of the head, like kashem shepeah b'kol makom, which normally meaning a peah, like the corner of something. So this could be a voluminous shetel. The name Moshe is very different. She says anything kosher touch b'ser should not say anything put in the hair. Siyashi bone sits there. Lios mechuvan kamosara to look something like her own hair. Nikra peah. It's got to sit there snugly on the head. So he says, according to Pnei Moshe, anything which sits on the head, even if it's very voluminous, according to Pnei Moshe, anything which sits snugly on the head is called a peah. Rabbi Yani is the smaller. Nafa Ujid Une. The cotton fell of his ear on Shabbos. Borim because Shabbos, he wanted to put it back on Shabbos. The girl b'chaverov, and his friends rebuked him. They mishum tachshit on account of jewelry, which is a little bit difficult. So he says that the what kind of tachshit is the cotton. So in his ear. So Pnei Moshe says, "Klomer mishum gzeras tachshit." It's similar to gzeras tachshit. I love tachshitu, even though it's not really a tachshit. It's the same gzeras tachshit that you might come to take it out and carry it in Rishus Harabim. It says it's similar to what we had at the end of Halacha Aleph for the Mafteach. Gamliel went down to his chotzer with a Mafteach Shazor Biyado and his Chaverim Garu Bar Mishum Tachshit. Again, even though the key is not necessarily a Tachshit, but it's a similar idea that you're going to might come to carry it out to Rishus Harabim. And the base on that, Rabbi Yanai, so the Gemara is going to discuss other issues, other possible issues, and reject them. Rabbi Yanai wanted to say Sheminu Shumarpe. He says it's not because of refuah, because in the moch itself is not healing anything. It would not be also because of refuah, because it's the oil in the which you put into the ear, which is marpe, not cotton. So it's not an issue of refuah. Rabbanan Chachamim so remember moch Shumarpe. Rabbanan say no, the moch is marape. I'm going to ask, how can you say that? Somebody has a concern with his ear, is feeling something hurts in his ear. No, said shemen al gabe rosh. He puts oil in his head. And he can say some incantation. As long as you don't put it on with your hand or with a keli. Evidently, you have to, some reason having to do with refuah, you have to pour the oil somehow, not with your hand and not with a keli. I'm not sure exactly how you do it. The article says you shouldn't use like an applicator, so you can't use it. He said, and he's not. Issue's not because of refuah, but the issue says you're not supposed to use your hand or a keli in order to do it differently than you do it during a weekday. So in any event, so we see the oil is a problem, not the content itself. Rabbi Yanai Sever Meimar, Halacha Rabbi Yossi. So it's important to see the Pnei Moshe on this. Rabbi Yanai Suchuli Klamar El the Behold, please, Malchus. Rabbi Yanai Sever Halacha Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yanai holds that halachas like Rabbi Yossi. Umils Rabbi Yossi Rabbanan Tina Lakaman so Perak Kol Kalim is later on. Kol Kisar Kalim, any cover of a Keli Sheshlim base Achizu which has a handle Nitolin can be carried on Shabbos. Rabbi Yossi said by Med Varmuim Kisar Karkos. This is the same way which covers the ground. Therefore, it looks like a building unless it has a handle. Avakisa came by something which covers kalim benkach benkach litolim b'Shabbos. No matter what, it can be carried taken on Shabbos. V'imoch loyelo beis achiza. So this moch didn't have a something to grip onto. Svil Rabbi Yani dalch Rabbi Yosi bein tzar beis achiza. It doesn't need to have beis achiza. Okay, kisa keli havya. It's like kisa keli. Nita b'Shabbos, so he can put it in and out on Shabbos. Cherev shgar b'suya there look Rabbi Yossi v'tzarek beis achiza. It's a bit strange, but if it doesn't have a handle, the cotton wad looks like you're putting it there permanently. So I guess it's a kind of like a mechse kaboina to put it inside your that's why they didn't put them in. Put them in. So that's what it says. Yes, I made my look Rabbi Yossi, and that's why he said I can put it back in on Shabbos. Because and look Rabbi Yossi knows that I put it, and therefore it doesn't have a handle. I can't put it. You can't put it back into your on Shabbos. It fell out. Rav Lechem Arba Bar Barakana Rav China Bar Rashi B'Shem. There's a Rav Rashi. Who's this? Yeah, Rav Rashi. B'Shem Rav Halacha Kir Rabbi Yossi. So halacha is like Rabbi Yossi for sure. So it's only a problem by karka. So it says, well, you know what? You're right. Rabbi Yana is over member Adam Losu so karka. Rabbi Yana holds a person's like not like the ground, so therefore he doesn't need a base achiza. Right? Man is like karka. So since it's like karka, so therefore it's like evidence like has halachas karkos. So therefore the moch has to have a base achiza on it. So it says more of a kani. Going to the friend means, come on, give me a break. Is a man like karka? Can you still say this? It's true. Avadim hukshul karkos for certain halachas, but you can't say that putting something in the ears like covering the ground. Ella kani. So rather, this is the machlekes, and it gets back to the takshi, the kiyah Rabban Gamliel, which he said on top. Rabbi Yanai Savar Meimar Shchiachu Ein Shchiachu Mahach Ben Dar Amos. It's not likely I'm going to take out the cotton and walk 4 amos with it. And Chaver and Savar Meimar Shchiachu Mahach Ben Arba Amos. It's likely you're going to work 4 amos with it. So therefore, it's not. It's the kila of Rabban Gamliel, which is not really a takshin, but the question is whether the issue of takshin applies to it. Like we said at the beginning. Okay, so now it says Gemara. It's a new issue, and we're going on a false tooth. I'm Ramon. When it says Shamis Tam Rabbi Shmuel b'Shem Rabbi Zira, heard a reason to answer a false tooth. Name Rabbi Shmuel, name Rabbi Zira. I don't remember what I heard. Mike Dun. So what's the conclusion? What is talking the problem? Rabbi Yossi said, "Mistabra b'shein shel zav she'amdu b'yakir." Must have tell down a gold tooth, which costs a lot of money, and therefore you're very makbid in it. And if it falls out, the she'amdu say she shouldn't go out with it because it might fall. It's going to fall, and she's going to go carry 4 amos to put it back. Okay, so that's the issue. Says Gemara. Wait, no. That's fine. That's shame fine for shame shows up. That's it says. The Mishnah is 2 separate things, right? There's shame shows up. So that's fine for shame shows up. But what shame shows must be something else. So what's the shame shows? So shame shows ma'isloch. Odi mivata. No, she's also afraid. Meimar linagra avilechayri. It's difficult for her to tell a carpenter to make another tooth. So she's embarrassed to tell a carpenter to make another tooth. Maybe it's embarrassing to have a wooden tooth made. There's the myth that George Washington had a wooden teeth. He didn't actually have a wooden tooth, evidently, but evidently some people did, the poor people. And so maybe she's embarrassed to have another one made, or she's just nervous to have another one made, or she's difficult to have another one made. So therefore, same, even by wooden tooth, nafla lay, she's going to fall, and she's going to carry for Amos to put it back. Rabbi Yasef, Rabbi Ami, I can't read the next word here. One of them had a problem with their teeth, and his friend told him that he can go out with a false tooth. Another one of these two had a problem with his ear. For the Chaver and his friend said he can go out with the cotton in his ear. I don't know which said what. since Rabbi Yatso is known to have asked the doctor of Rabbi Yaakov Bar Acha, today would be a dentist, Ma of the Shin Rabbi Yaakov Bar Acha Chavreinu. So, what are the what's the story with what's happening with the teeth of Rabbi Yaakov Bar Acha, our friend? Minmad the law ma Rabbi Yasa. Everybody changes it from lo to the word mila. Mila b'teil min yamoy. It's interesting. The Yerushalmi Pshuto actually brings down the name of Rav Kook. This diuk. He says that the diuk is from that since Rabbi Yasa never said an extra word, a superfluous word in his entire life, and he said the word shena here. Why do you have to say shene? Right? He could have just said, "How's Rabbi Yaakov Barach, our friend, doing?" He's saying his tooth doing. Heavy do or Elishina. Must be he passed about the tooth, and that's why he's following up about the tooth. Rabbi Yana Pasa Bepilpul Garga Melech. Okay, so this is the going back to the Mishnah. That would say on Mishnah that you shouldn't put the chatchila a piece of pepper or a piece of salt in your mouth on Shabbos. That is talking about specifically those two things, and that's because because that could lead to grind herbs for for medication purposes. It's probably people gagamel. Chavroi pasna kulum. The Chaverim said no. It's going all the things in the numerated Mishnah. None of the things, including the moch. Uh, uh, well, again, machlekes carbon ada and bnei Moshe. Carbon ada says it's going on the moch Shabbos and the other things in our Mishnah. Even though the mutter you have to dafka put it on before Shabbos. The bnei Moshe is going on anything you put in your mouth on Shabbos. The specific, and it's saying a leniency. So he's saying I'm sorry. No, it's not saying leniency. So again, according to Carbon Ada, I put some people about Gargamel that only those that you have to put on before Shabbos begins. Like Kulan, that all of them things about Shemisha, including the Moch and the Shane, you have to put in before Shabbos begins. The Bnei Moshe is learning again. Rabbi Yossi Yana is saying only pilpul gargamel, as opposed to anything else you put in your mouth, because it doesn't look like there's no money specifically of those two substances. Other substances you can put on your mouth on Shabbos. Chavroy and Pachanei Kulon, any substance you want to put in your mouth, you have to put it in your mouth before Shabbos, not just pepper and salt. Okay, next Mishnah. Halach above. You go out with a coin on the tzinis. This is a wound which you have on the on the sole of your foot, and you put on this coin as a refuah. The girls can go out with chutim, with strings. I feel kismin, B'Shabba's name, even with sticks in their ears. They had uh, uh, pierced ears in order that those holes should not get should close up. Aravios, women who live in Arabia, yotzes ulos, they can go out with their head wrapped in their hijab, their veil. That's called ulos, and medayas prufos. Medayas, the women who live in Madai, they would. They would not be wrapped so much as they would have put a stone in one corner and toss it over the other side to the other shoulder. And all the person can do this. This is normally in these places. This was the custom to do it. Therefore, they said that's not considered to be derech masui, and that's okay. For these women, of course, anytime it's the derech to do it, that's fine. Says the Gemara, yotzim sel shaltinis. You go out to sell on the tinis. That is the tinis is pundara type of illness called pundara. Rabbi Acha, Rabbi Abba, Mel said, "Afilu tas." It's not just a coin, even a slab of metal. So in the Bavli, I think there's a discussion about whether it's the metal which does the healing aspect, or it's the form of the coin, the surah of the coin, which is the healing aspect. And the Bavli says both, but here it says. According to Yerushalmi, it's the metal, so therefore even the metal itself is effective. I don't remember the Bavli says that it has to be both. Um, Bali oil, the article how Bali mentions it's because it's hard, and because it's made out of metal, and because of the tzura. But it says not necessarily it's not machlekes because um, any of those aspects would be sufficient. A long footnote here. Okay, in any event, but the Musham is Makatzer. Now the Korban takes out the words V'hotnina because it's actually not going back on the previous statement. It's a new statement. Now bonus yotzes b'chutin. The girls go out the strings. Rabbi Bob B'Shem Rabbi Yehuda said afilu korach tzavora. Even if it's wrapped on around her neck, we're not concerned that she's going to take it off and um, to show it to others, and she can also doesn't have to take it off to go to the table because they're loose on her neck. Carmela says that it's it shouldn't be cold. If it's cold, we're afraid that she's going to take it off and show it. Okay. Rabbi Abba Barba, Mefaka Shmuel Bray, Abba Barba told his son Shmuel, Abba was father Shmuel, Lod Kabbalach Masnisin, don't accept upon yourself the Mishnah as it's stated in front of it. The Avo Lobikis Shabbat's name. They can't go out with sticks in their ears. Because since it's not the jewelry, it's just called the whole shustab. Get close up, it's masui, it's carry. Okay, so he argues on the Mishnah. Kini masnisin, this is the way to learn our Mishnah. Aravayos, yotzos, ulos, madayos, prufios. So, but what's he saying here? So the Karmei says, Lo didei umadayos. Shenefarish the madayos yotzos ulos uprufos. And madayos yotzos prufos velo rulos. So, okay, that's, it tells that don't say they both, that the madayos do both. No, each one is mutually exclusive of the other. So the Yerushalmi Shabbos brings down an alternative here that there are girsos in the Mishnah which don't have the word yotzos. So it's just had aravios, ulos, madios, prufos. So the Gemara is adding the word yotzos. Okay, that we're talking about. What does it mean, rulos and prufos? No, it's going to tell us that they can go out that way on Shabbos. Okay, it says the next Mishnah, Porefes al Eben, when she casts the one side of her veil on the other side, she can do it with a stone, val egos as a weight on in the cloth, or with a net. Found my bed, even the coin bachelor tipa with Shabbos, as long as she doesn't put these muksa objects on initially on Shabbos into her garment in order to toss it over and weight it down to the other side. Tani Rabbi Shimon Gamliel Omer Losha El Madbe'ah Ve'evan. That limitation that has to be there for Shabbos is specifically talking about a coin or a stone because they're muktzah. But if it's a nut, you can put it in on Shabbos because it's not muktzah. You can carry it. Amar Avada Barava, Asya the Rishim Gamliel, Rabbi Meir. This goes like Rabbi Shimon Gamliel is going like Rabbi Meir. Kimo the Kamada Rabbi Meir Mardavashim Metalta Mutter. Since like Rabbi Meir says something which you can carry is mutter, Kamishim Gamliel Meir Mardavashim Metalta Mutter. Something which you can carry is mutter do even on Shabbos itself. So it's very difficult what the chiddush is. Obviously, it's a double portion. Okay, tell us. So the Pshuto and the Shaitan so have very difficult attempts at explaining what the chiddush is here in the Gemara. Is a long art scroll. To actually change the girsa, Kanievsky said to Rabbi Meir Karebi, and say that this thing like Rebbe said you're allowed to go out with the artificial tooth or the gold tooth. We're not chlaishish that the tooth is going to fall. You're going to carry it. So to here, you're not chlaishish that the nut is going to fall and you come to carry it. Or okay. Again, it's a difficult sugi. You have to change something around in order to make it not a double portion. But we can stop here for today because we're already on the